The future time is shown in the film. Every year, the Tekken franchise organizes a tournament. It is North American company and the tournament which is hosted by it. It is special tournament. A boy is shown at the start of the movie. His name is Jin. This boy was running away from Tekken's guards. He had stolen the device of Tekken. Now he reaches a city while running. He sells one of Tekken's devices to a fighter. This fighter wanted Jin to be part of his job. But Jin was not ready for this. Jin gives this warrior the device and accepts payment from him. And he leaves this place. Jin passes by the satellite system. There is the host of Tekken is announcing, Tekken tournament is going to be held within a few days. Later, Jin moves to a bar when he is returning back, taking some things from there. Some people urges him to take part in the tournament. But he forbids all of them for one more time. Because his mother had asked him to avoid the Tekken fight. On the other side, Tekken Corporation's boss Heihachi. His son's name is Kazuya. They both are preparing for the tournament. Kazuya suggests to his father, guards should be replaced. Because some of the guards are not performing their duty properly. But Heihachi says to his son, work on the security matters right now. Contrarily, Jin goes to his house and offers the oranges to his mother for eating. His mother queries him, from where did this money come? He tells his mother, I want to take part in Tekken tournament. But his mother says in anger, I have already forbidden you. Be far from Tekken fight or its tournament. Jin was fed up, hearing the instructions of his mother, and he did not want to spend his further life in poverty now. He also asks about his father from his mother with this. His mother tells him on this, your father is no more. Hearing this, Jin becomes furious because his mother gives the same answer every time. Afterwards, he goes out of the house. Coming out of the house, he encounters a girl, for whom he has affections. Heihachi's son is seen there. Who has detected the head of Jin. Now Kazuya kills his boss, arriving there. Because the device stolen by Jin belonged to Tekken City. Later, Tekken Force detects the house of Jin. This power makes its way to his home. Jin's mother is questioned by Tekken Force, who displays his photo. Who is this boy? But Jin's mother does not tell the truth to them. Contrarily, Jin also comes to know that her mother's life is at risk. And he runs to his house to secure his mother. But Kazuya explodes the house of Jin. The whole house was devastated at that time when Jin reaches his house. Jin discovers his mother's Tekken ID on the trash of the fallen house building. Seeing this, Jin had left shocked because this ID is given to those people, who are Tekken fighter. He was not understanding this, his mother was Tekken fighter but she also asks Jin to keep himself away from Tekken fighting. Jin was blaming Heihachi for the death of his mother. Now he will avenge of his mother from him. Now he will take part in Tekken tournament to avenge his mother. Jin will have to confront a man in Tekken fight whose name is martial law. A man provides the chance for each to take part in tournament when Jin reaches there. 2 fighters are left in the last including Jin. When first fighter faces martial law then he runs away in fear after being beaten by him. Afterwards, Jin is called in the fighting ring. First of all, Jin is losing fight but he reminds the given training of his mother there. Who used to train him in his childhood. And his mother had said to him, you cannot lose the game until you yourself surrender. Jin is motivated after reminding this saying of his mother. He fights with his rival and succeeds. This match is also being watched by Kazuya and Heihachi. After winning the fight, Steve says to Jin, every fighter has his own support. You have no one to support yourself. He also informs about some documentation that Jin will have to submit. And 30% of winning amount of money will also be given to this man. On the other side, Kazuya is seen who is celebrating something. His father asks him, coming there, which victory are you celebrating? He tells that we have caught a criminal gang. We are celebrating this. Kazuya's father says to him, you did not understand it yet. When will you grow up? It is compulsory for us to win the Tekken tournament. Winning of Tekken tournament means the enhancement of prestige. Winning of tournament indicates the winning of the world. Heihachi leaves that place on this. And his son was getting furious on his father. On the other side, Jin and Steve are seen, who have reached at the place of tournament. Contrarily, Kazuya is giving the list of the name of fighters to his father, participating in the fight. And he is also telling the capabilities of them which they possess. On the other side, Jin meets with all fighters. Seeing him, all fighters are commenting on him that he is still a child. Jin is awarded the room of martial law in the tournament. After a while, tournament is begun. Jin appears in second round. And he wins the match while reminding the training of his mother. Heihachi notices his son Kazuya, who was dissatisfied with the match of Jin. He was not understanding this. Why is he feeling much irritation from Jin? In the next scene, Kazuya is seen who meets Jin. He tells, "My father is very inspired from you martial arts." Jin says to him, "I myself will gratify Heihachi after meeting him." Kazuya says to him on this, "If you will continue fighting as such, then you will surely get the chance to meet my father." Kazuya also says to Jin, "Your martial art is appearing to me so familiar. Was your father habitual to take part in this tournament?" Jin tells, "No. I know nothing about my father. He is no more." Then a man was listening their conversation, standing there. "Who trains Jin?" That man asks about their conversation as Kazuya leaves. Jin says on this, "Mind your own business." Further, Kazuya is seen who is very shocked on the martial art of Jin, as it is seeming so familiar. He investigates the history of Jin. He knows this who is the mother of Jin. Noi Jin goes to a club along with a girl and they enjoy a lot. Two men attack Jin when they are returning back. There was arousing a loud noise from Jin's room after the attack of two assassins. The girl with whom Jin went outside, she comes into his room to rescue him. Afterwards, the assassins of Jin move out of the room later. After this girl accompanies Jin to his trainer. His trainer tells him, "I knew that Jin's rivals will attempt to kill him." However, Jin displays his mother's Tekken ID, who used to be a Tekken City fighter. The trainer and that girl ask Jin to hide himself on this. "Go away. Don't take part in the tournament. Because your life is at risk." Then Jin says, "Damn this tournament. I just need to avenge Heihachi." It is also revealed, those two attackers who had come to kill Jin, they were fighters who had been sent by Kazuya. But they remained unsuccessful to kill Jin. And Kazuya was so aggressive on this. Next day, when tournament is held, then it is exposed, having a look at that fighter, that she is the same fighter who had come at night to take the life of Jin. That fighter's fighting match was with the friend of Jin. Jin tells her, "Your opponent fighter had come to kill me last night." His friend comes in full rage on this. And she defeats that rival fighter, who had come to end the life of Jin last night. Later, Kazuya is seen, who had visited a half-robotic man. And this fact is not in the awareness of anyone in tournament. Kazuya says to that man, "You have to kill Jin." But he forbids to kill Jin. But Kazuya blackmails him saying, "I will reveal before everyone that you are half-robot if you don't kill Jin." In the next scene, it is seen that Jin's hands are very wounded. His trainer Steve gives him his gloves on this. The contestant was now the player of semi-final with whom Jin had a fighting match. Heihachi asks to alter the player when he knows about this. But his son forbids his father to do as such. Because Kazuya is the security head of this tournament. This is the cause, his order is carried out by all guards of that place. Now he orders to continue the match of Jin and that fighter. Now Jin's match is begun with that fighter of the semi-final. Now Kazuya tells Heihachi that Jin is his son. Now the player of semi-final is going to end Jin. Because he was so trained, so Heihachi rings the security alarm there. Due to this, that semi-final player's attention is diverted. Jin takes the advantage of this and he defeats that semi-final player. The strange happening occurs there later as Kazuya makes captive all the fighters. And he informs all fighters, fight will be held again with the new rules and regulations. Only one fighter will survive in the end of the match. Because its rule will include, do or die. After this, Kazuya goes away saying this tournament will resume on the next day. Now all fighters had become panicked by all these rules. Now all fighters decide to flee because everyone knew this tournament will be cancelled itself if all fighters leave away. While fleeing, one of the fighters is shot. They all run to the place of Heihachi. Steve asks Heihachi about the security codes of doors to move outside. Jin had got aggressive, seeing Heihachi here. Because he was thinking that Heihachi is responsible behind his mother's death. Because Jin was wounded and he could not avenge Heihachi. On the other side, Steve is seen who makes Jin free with his struggles. When Kazuya knows that all fighters have fled. Then he orders all his guards to capture all fighters. Further, Heihachi is seen who exposes to Jin, "I am your grandfather. And my son is responsible behind the death of your mother. It means because of your father." Jin's grandfather tells him that, "When your father Kazuya tried to kill your mother, I was a rescuer of her and I made her reach in a secure city." Jin's grandfather tells him, "There was only one heir of Tekken before. But there are two heirs now." This conversation was going on. Meanwhile, Kazuya assaults all of them with his guards. And Steve also loses his life during this assault. It is not enough, but Kazuya also victimizes his own father. And he calls himself the heir of Tekken. Tournament is again begun according to the rules of Kazuya. These rules are very tough and hard, as one fighter will only be survived in the end. The defeaters will face the death. Tournament's final round is seen where Jin was also there. He was recalling his mother's given skilled and hard training. Now he had understood that his mother had given him tough training for this cause, that he may fight for the mankind, not for himself. Jin defeats his rival, knowing his weakest point. Now Kazuya was witnessing all, and he was not understanding this, how much struggles that he made to kill Jin. But he did not succeed to kill Jin. Afterwards, he himself also becomes the part of the tournament. And he was ready to fight with Jin. Kazuya was more powerful than Jin. He beats Jin violently. Jin was going to meet his end here. Then Jin's friend named Christy is seen, who breaks the glass window while firing her gun. Kazuya's attention is diverted. As his attentions is transferred, Jin attacks Kazuya and pulls apart his abdomen. Kazuya does not die, but Jin was going to attack him again. But Jin does not kill Kazuya. It is seen later that Jin's friend Christy comes on the stage, and she calls Jin the winner of this tournament. He is Jin, the tournament's winner. Jin had now ascended to the position of Tekken's leader. All guards carry out the orders of Jin. The native city of Jin has also been liberated now. In the end, it is told that Tekken's story has begun now. This film ends here.